bruh. Alright, so yes, I know if you saw the last video, which if you haven't, bro, come on, like, keep up, bro. Like, go watch that one first. I know in my last video I said I was not going to buy the G Pro X Superlight. And this video is about the G Pro X Superlight. But listen, just wait and trust. Alright? And I would like to apologize because I didn't realize that the last video about the mouse pads, my mic was actually extremely low. Or it wasn't like too low, but I went back and I was just checking after the video rendered or processed and everything. I just like clicked on it to make sure that, you know, it didn't look like ass. And I had my headphones turned all the way up, volume 100, YouTube video turned up all the way up, and I could hear myself like clearly, but it wasn't at like a proper volume. Because if anything, I feel like you should want somebody to turn you down than be like wanting to turn you up more, but they can't. But anyways, yes. So now I'm all up in your ear, bro. I feel like I'm really gonna turn some heads with this video, and I'm gonna make a few people upset. But you know, this is my opinion. I'm going to give you the facts, and I'm gonna give you my opinion upon those facts. And you know, it might be a hot take, or you might be like, okay, this man knows what he's saying, when I really never do. But today we have the glorious Model O wireless versus the Logitech G Pro X Superlight. All these mice have confusing names. And in case you're wondering why this video involves the Model O wireless instead of the Model O minus, is because yes, the Model O minus is more similar to the Superlight in weight, but in size overall, the Model O is more of a better matchup for the Superlight. And I've never had a Model O minus, to be honest, and I have a Model O. I've had a Model O and a Model O wireless, and this is the first Logitech mouse I've ever had. So, you know, we're running with what we got, so I hope you're happy, bro. Let me not waste your time. Let's just get in it. So first things first, I had to pull up my notes here, and I'm actually using the Superlight as I'm, you know, recording this video. But we're going to start, just like we did in the last video, we are going to start with not the champion, but, you know, we're going to start with the baseline, you know, we're going to start with the Model O wireless. The glorious Model O wireless. I love this mouse, bro. This is, like, in general, of all the wireless mice I've ever owned, this mouse is like the best one I've ever owned. And, you know, that's why I pre-ordered that's why I participated in the group buy of the Model O Pro. Ha! I got it. The Model O wireless was $80. Well, we're just gonna say $80, and it is 128 millimeters long, which is really not bad. I do like the size of this mouse a lot, and its width is 66 millimeters. But if you're looking at it, I'll show pictures. If you're looking at it in the middle, it is obviously not as wide as it is in the back. So I gave the width of the back of the mouse because that's the part that I feel like kind of is more affecting to the user, if that makes sense. It is 69 grams in weight, and that is extremely light, but I like it because it's not too light, if that makes sense. And one thing that I find unbelievably funny is actually on the glorious website, it says that the glorious Model O wireless has 71 hours of battery life. Exactly 71. And I find that so hilarious because the G Pro X Superlight, they advertise that it has 70 hours of battery life. So Glorious was like, man, throw one more up there. And now for honestly one of my favorite features about this mouse, which isn't even like a part of the mouse, is the cable. The ultra flexible cable is so pristine. I love it. But one thing that's weird about most all Glorious products is they don't use micro USB, they use USB-C, which is fine. You know, a lot of big brands are changing to USB-C, which is perfectly fine. It has full RGB capability on the sides and even on the inside a little bit. You can definitely see it. But oh, and obviously on the scroll wheel. But this is a beautiful mouse. Alrighty, so that was the Model O wireless, and now after I'm going to talk about each mouse, and then in the end we'll kind of talk about them both together, and then yes, we'll you know, like words. And now for the challenger, we have the G Pro X Superlight. Now this mouse is great, but it's also, there's some points in it that, and this, I could say the same exact about the Model O, but, you know, the Superlight is originally $160 or $159.99 on the Logitech website or Logitech G site, which is not weird, but I'm definitely going to say overpriced for a mouse. But right now it's on sale for $150, and I bought it for $130 at Best Buy. The Superlight is 125 millimeters long, so it's not as like long or tall, I guess you could say, as the Model O, but that's not really something that is necessarily a life-changing factor for if you want to go out and buy either one of these mice. And the Superlight is 63.5 millimeters wide, which is a little thinner than the Model O as well, but you know, it's nice. And the main thing I feel like is that would really be changing for that is your hand size, obviously, because the Glorious advertises the Model O for medium to large hand size, and then that's why they have the Model O for people with smaller hands. But the G Pro Superlight, I feel like, is definitely made for people that also have medium to large hands, because having, or small to medium, I should say, because large hands would almost consume the mouse. And then we come on to the weight. Now, on the actual box for the Superlight, it says less than 63 grams, but we're just going to say 63 grams just so we kind of have like a baseline. I've seen some videos where people have weighed their G Pro X Superlight and it came out at 59 grams. And then they weighed their Model O wireless and it came out at 67 grams, which is not what is lower than what each company advertises their mice for, which is obviously something that can happen. It's not going to be every mouse is the exact literal same exact thing. But, you know, that's just, I want us to have a baseline. And then we go into the part that I was kind of laughing at earlier. The G Pro X Superlight is said to have 70 hours of battery life. So that's 1 hour supposedly shorter than the Model O. But I've had my Model O for a while, and it's definitely, I would say, not got 71 hours of battery life. I would honestly say more like 50 to 60, but I've had it for a good bit. So, you know, as wear and tear, things happen, things get old. I don't really understand the inner meanings and details, but I'm just going off of what I know, bro. And then, yes, the Superlight has a micro USB cable or USB port, and the cable is not like ultra flexible like for the Model O, but, you know, that's not something that'll really change your mind. I feel like that's just kind of like a plus if you do get a Model O or any Glorious mouse for that fact. Okay, so that was both of the mice individually. So let's kind of just talk about feel and how I'm feeling the mice.
You need to leave!
Alrighty, so when it comes to the glide, I gotta be honest, bro. The Superlight has a great glide. I really love spinning my mice. I think that is just something that I will always kind of do whenever I'm just meaninglessly listening to music, editing. I like it because if your mouse has a very good frictionless glide, it's nice. But one thing I will say about the Superlight is they say little to no friction or almost frictionless glide, but there's definitely friction and you can even hear it. And it's not loud, but it's there. It's definitely there. And don't get me wrong, the Superlight does have a great glide, but in the sense of glide, I think the Model O takes it. Now, the Model O does not spin nowhere near as nice as the Superlight, but I can't tell you one game ever that you're literally gonna have to spin your mouse in a complete 360 or a 720 or whatever. But the natural glide of just kind of sliding your mouse across your desk, the glorious Model O definitely takes the cake on that one. I don't know, the Model O just kind of, it beats it in that realm, bro. I can't lie to you. And whenever it comes down to just holding the mouse and seeing how it feels, I honestly, if the Model O with exactly how it is was just as tall and almost shaped on the top like the G Pro X Superlight, I honestly think it would be the best mouse of all time. Just the way that not the base, but the back end, I guess you could say, the butt of the mouse just kind of sits in your palm with the Superlight, for me, is just so, it's insanely comfortable. I've never had a mouse actually just fit to my hand that perfectly before. And yes, the Model O does fit nicely in my hand, but because it is a little longer and a little wider, it's not too big, but it's also not like, I feel like the Superlight is almost more of like that perfect size for medium-ish hands. Now, even though there is only a 6-gram difference in weight, you can kind of feel it. And that's not saying anything bad about either mouse. It really depends on if you like heavier mice or if you want something that's literally as weightless as possible, which obviously if you want something as weightless as possible, G Pro X Superlight, 63 grams, 9 times out of 10 I feel like it's going to be lower than 63. And then the Model O wireless is 69 grams, which yes, you can get it lighter, and then you could always buy weights for a mouse if you really wanted it, but you know, that's, with things like that, it is down to ultimate preference. Okay, so I've been recording for a while and I didn't even realize until I looked. I was just constantly talking about these mice, so a lot of this video is not going in because I'm not trying to give you guys a 30-minute video about 2 mice. But if I had to be honest with you, with my personal opinion, Arctic speaking true, honest facts, or not facts, but telling my truth to you, I personally believe that the Model O is the better mouse. Even though it might be a little heavier, a little larger in size, and yes, I was talking about how the Superlight just fits in my hand so much better, the Model O as a whole, I think the Model O takes it. I'm afraid that I've missed some points, and if I have, please let me know. I don't think I have. Like, I think I've gotten all the important parts down. You know me, I've been writing my notes now. I'm trying to get better. But yeah, that was all for me. It's been your boy Arctic. I appreciate you. If this video has helped you decide to get either one of these mice, please let me know down in the comments. I just moved my armrest. But yes, I appreciate you watching. Stay safe. Peace.